I'm Michelle Martin, a public health inspector with the region of Durham. I love big batch cooking. Big batch cooking is not only great for my waistline, it's good for my wallet too. When I'm able to portion control and decide what I'm making ahead of time, it really helps me with my meal planning and keeping costs down. In today's vlog, we're going to discuss how to use leftovers, or your version of big batch cooking, safely. Tonight, I've decided to make chicken fajitas. So I've been slow cooking some chicken breasts with a bit of stock and some spices all day while I was at work. When I've come home now, I'm going to probe it, make sure it's reached its final cooking temperature, and then I'll be able to take what I need for tonight's dinner and save the rest. I've got my trusty probe thermometer here. It's already cleaned and sanitized, so I'm just going to plop it right in the middle. And what I'm looking for is that it's reached 74 degrees Celsius. 74 degrees Celsius will make pretty much any food safe to eat and will kill any pathogens or germs that can make you sick. The only exception would be a whole piece of poultry, so a whole duck, whole chicken, or a whole turkey. But we're nicely resting here at about 76, so we're good. I'm going to clean and sanitize my probe thermometer using an alcohol swab. There's enough alcohol in each packet to clean and sanitize in one fell swoop, but not enough to contaminate the next food that I'll test. Once I've taken out what I want for dinner tonight, I'm going to have a lot of chicken mixture that I can save for later. I've got some different containers here. Glass and Pyrex are great choices because they're inert and they're not going to transmit any chemicals to the food that I'm cooling. Plastic containers are great for cold foods or anything that's already been chilled or is already at room temperature. You don't want to store hot foods directly in plastic because over time that can leach some chemicals. So I'm going to portion out some chicken that I want for another meal. Enough for maybe a few fajitas. If I don't want to have to babysit my food as I cool it, I'm going to only put in enough for a single serving. If you pour in food into any container about 2 inches in depth, it will cool at the right rate at the right time every time. No muss, no fuss, no babysitting required. If I were to take this whole crock and put it in the fridge, I'm going to have to stir it about every half hour and probably even add ice cubes to make sure that it cools quickly enough. So I'm just going to put it in a small container and put it in the fridge. Your leftovers are safe in your fridge for up to 3 days after you cook them. So at any time during that time, you can pull them out and reheat them and eat. If you don't think you're going to use them up in those 3 days, why not freeze them in individual portions and have your very own frozen dinners? Then they're ready to pull from the freezer when you are. Simple trick to make that safe? Date it. Your food is safe in a freezer almost indefinitely. But from a quality perspective, you've got about 6 months before the quality starts to really degrade. Date your masking tape here with the date that you've made the food, and then you know you've got 6 months of freshness in your freezer ready to go. All right, it's supper surprise night. We're going to reheat some of this chicken. Put it in your microwave and reheat it so that it reaches the final cooking temperature, or 74 degrees Celsius. Remember to use your probe thermometer to make sure that it reaches that final cooking temperature, and then you know your leftovers are safe. Thanks for joining us today on our vlog. For more information, click on the link below. And if you like what you saw today, why not subscribe to our channel or follow us on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. Thanks again, and see you around the dinner table.